guys, today we're talking about the signs of a scammer. The one person you do not want to fall for. And it's absolutely heartbreaking to read and see some of the stories I've seen about guys getting wrapped up around these ladies' fingers. It's really upsetting. And the thing is, these ladies know what they're doing. So even if I saw the signs and I tell clients or other guys to leave, they stay because they got you hooked. And so I really want to go over this because a client was willing to share his messages he had with someone, and he wanted me to make sure this doesn't happen to anyone else, and he gave me permission to screen share or screenshot these images so you can see exactly how they talk. And as I go through the signs, I'm not just telling you, oh, this is what she does. You're literally seeing how she words it and how she responds to everything he has said. So in hopes of helping at least one of you guys out there, it would make this video worth it. And of course, we are really grateful for that client to be willing to share this conversation with me. So because of the way he screen shared, it was through a video scrolling, you'll see that the text on this video is kind of blurred when you see it. So I do suggest to read my blog in the bio below to see it's easier to see it on a blog and probably more sharper. That way you can kind of zoom in rather than video. It might be blurred here because we're trying to make it wide for the screen. So just know that. Also, so let's first talk about, okay, what is a scammer, right? A scammer is someone who extorts you for your money, tries to really take anything out of you. Now, this is different from a catfish. I feel like people talk about, oh, women are scammers, but scamming is about the financial and personal information of that. A catfish is someone who's a real person and wants to date, but either they don't look like themselves anymore or they use someone else's photo, which obviously is not good. But I discuss more of that in another video. This is more about making sure your personal information and your finances do not become compromised. Right? So that's what a scammer truly is, when they're after it. And the most recent trend is through crypto platforms that aren't actually legitimate or real. That's how they do it. So that's the example I'm going to be sharing with you today, is someone who is using crypto to gain information and finances from this client. So I'm going to start by kind of giving you the story of it, because through the story you can see the signs of what's happening. So let's use you for an example. You are on an online dating site, which is where it normally happens. You see this cute girl and she matches with you, and you get really excited because you get excited for any match, right? Everything starts out normally. She asks about, what you like to do and maybe your hobbies, and she just tries to get to know you for the first couple of days. It seems very normal. And she asks, though, more specifically about your job, making sure that you have basically income coming in. Because if you don't have a job or you don't have an income, then, you're not actually funding what she wants. But that's not the alarming part, because it's normal for any person to ask about a person's career if you're trying to date them. Totally fine. What then becomes interesting is she then asks about if you're dating anyone else, or plays a joke about how you're probably talking to a lot of girls, because she wants to know what your dating journey has been like. Because she knows if you're not actively dating multiple people, she knows that you're craving companionship. She knows that you're not having the greatest dating experience. Maybe you feel really, really lucky to even get one match. Then that's a perfect target for her, because she knows that there's more meaning here. You really want that companion. You really want a date or a match. So it gets a little tricky when she then starts asking about if you're talking about, or it then gets tricky because then she's asking if you're talking to anybody else, if you're dating anybody else, because she wants you to only date her. Now, this is one of the biggest signs, is how she cures your loneliness. Once again, she's trying to cure your loneliness, getting you attached to her. She does this through excessive affection, a lot of texting. She's making sure you feel like you have a companion that's asking about your day, what's going on. You feel like someone's really there for you and cares for you. And the number one kicker is she uses nicknames. She asks you to use nicknames for her, because behind the scenes, it makes it easier for her to kind of keep track of everybody. So she doesn't have to call you by, your real name. So then you're feeling really cared for and appreciated and loved. Then all of a sudden she brings up cryptocurrency as one of her hobbies and how she's built a lot of wealth on it, how it really works, and how you need wealth, right, to financially support yourself, to have beautiful experiences. She starts to convince you that wealth is really important and finances is. And if you tell her that you're not familiar with it, you don't know anything about the market, one, that's great because now she can teach you about the market. But number two, then she starts convincing you and almost making you sometimes feel odd that you're not investing, because that's what everybody is doing. Then she starts not asking, but telling you, hey, you should join this. You should do this. It's great for you. I want you to have great wealth for yourself. So let me help you. Download this platform. Now put this and do this. She all of a sudden starts kind of making these commands, which then you may question, but at this point you kind of feel like she's just trying to help, which is what makes it really tricky. So then you follow her lead. And here's the thing. When you actually complete maybe one investment, and she asks you how much you can invest, normally she will try to get you to invest more or exactly how much the limit is. Once you do that though, this is where it gets very scary, because she then shows you more affection. Every time you do something she wants, she then gives you affection and talks about how this is helping your relationship. And then she finally shares a bit about herself so you can feel hooked into this relationship. You're thinking, yes, this is how you build trust and communication. And that's how she plays this dance with you. And then the conversation starts getting blurred. You realize you don't really get to know each other much anymore. It's more about what you're investing in today. She brings it back to investments. When you do try to talk about something else or talk about her, she brings it back to helping you make more income and when you can make more income. And she keeps you hooked also by playing around with the idea that she will meet you, but never actually sets a date. It's very vague. And here's the tricky part, is when you ask for a video date, because quite honestly, these girls will get on a phone call with you. That's not hard. They will allow you to hear their voice, but they will not get on a video call with you. And if you ask for the video call, they get super defensive and they all of a sudden talk about how they're not there in a relationship yet. Isn't that strange? Isn't it strange to set dates with this person, but when you ask for a video call, they're not willing to, but they obviously have time to be on a phone call with you? And recognize this, that the phone calls are maybe a little bit getting to know you, but then they start talking about investing. Those there are all signs, guys. It's that dance, right? And then here's the main kicker. When you finally feel like something is wrong and you ask her questions about the legitimacy of this crypto platform, start questioning her on more details because you've done your research, she starts then gaslighting you and then starts talking about how she threatens leaving the relationship. She then says it's about you not trusting her. How dare you question my knowledge of crypto? You know what? You might as well leave this relationship. And that's how she gets you, because she knows you really want a relationship and you want that companionship. So then you want to stay, and it does this whole dance. And even when I suggested to this client to leave, you can kind of see through his text why he wants to stay, because it's so close, the closest he has to a relationship. And that's what's scary. And those are the signs. The biggest sign, guys, is one, that all of a sudden she wants to just be with you and only you, and shows all of this affection towards you without meeting you. Number two, she shows this really high interest in crypto, but not just talking about it for herself, but pressuring you to do it. Like, who does that? Even when I've been in a relationship with someone for a year, they're not pressuring me all the time to invest. It's a little, skeptical there. Then number three, it's that dance of showing affection when you do something for her breadcrumbing you to say that she'll go on a date with you, but then not. And then lastly, if you try to call her out, she will threaten to leave, or she says it's your fault. You're the one not trusting. What did you ever do? So be careful, guys. Those are the main signs. I know this is a long video. I know there's a lot of screenshots to look through, but I really hope you take your time. And if you recognize you're a victim, stop, block, report on those dating apps whenever you can. And I will talk about how to prevent all of this in another video. But for now, just see the signs and please don't let this happen to you. You don't deserve this. This is awful. And I wish I can take all these ladies off of these platforms, but I hope it doesn't jade you too much. And please recognize that most people on online dating platforms are real, but you have to know the strategies and how you can prevent this from happening to you. And I hope this is a step in helping you through it. Thank you so much for watching this long video. Read the blog, read the link too on how these crypto scams happen, because that's a whole nother story. So I'll put that link in the bio as well. But stay safe out there, guys. Don't let these women do this to you. And I hope it helps. Have a good one.